What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your $1,400 third stimulus check and stimulus package update. This is a very important week as the $1,400 third stimulus check is already approved on the subcommittee level, and they work towards finalizing the entire package this week. This week will be a very important week as the details and the timeline will be determined this week and exactly what will be in the third stimulus package, with the few things that are still up for debate, such as the income limits on the third stimulus check and the $15 an hour minimum wage bill that is currently included in the third stimulus check package via Nancy Pelosi. However, there's some debate between Democrats themselves on whether or not that will make it through. Don't worry, I'm going to give you all the details, and this week will be a very big week for the third stimulus check package. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new updates regarding the third stimulus check package and the fourth stimulus check package that has already been announced, the Build Back Better package that will come after the third stimulus check package. Also on this channel, we cover mortgage and rental assistance, which you can claim right now from the second stimulus check package. There will be 2 more rounds of that coming also, where you can get your rent or mortgage paid for 3 to 12 months, depending on your state and county. We also cover student loan forgiveness, which is really heating up, Social Security increases of $200 per month, and the child stimulus checks of $3,000 to $3,600, which are in the third stimulus check package. And honestly, this is just the beginning of the Biden administration's first stimulus check package. They haven't even been in office for a month, and they're already passing the first one. This is not the last one. They have promised multiple stimulus checks and stimulus packages until the pandemic is over, which is not going to be next month, unfortunately. The impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump is over, with former President Donald Trump being acquitted, even though the Senate voted 57 yes votes and 43 no votes. You needed 67 votes. However, this might not be the last impeachment trial, as Senator Lindsey Graham says that Vice President Kamala Harris could be impeached if the Republicans take over the House in 2022 because of her previous actions. Yeah, I'm just as shocked as you are. Senator Lindsey Graham warned that Republicans could move to impeach Vice President Kamala Harris, arguing that former President Donald Trump's Senate impeachment trial over provoking the Capitol riot opened Pandora's box. A day after the Senate voted 57 to 43 to acquit the former President Donald Trump on a single charge of incitement of insurrection, the South Carolina Republican, Lindsey Graham, argued that the Vice President, Kamala Harris' previous support for a fund that bailed out protesters over the summer with the BLM movement, remember all those riots in the summer, that could leave her liable for the same punishment of incitement of insurrection, aka impeachment. And if you use this model, I don't know how Kamala Harris doesn't get impeached if the Republicans take over the House, says Lindsey Graham. Quote, basically, she actually bailed out rioters, and one of the rioters went back to the street and broke somebody's head open. So we've opened Pandora's box here, and I'm very sad for the country. Lindsey Graham is referring to Kamala Harris's support for the Minnesota Freedom Fund before she even became President Biden's running mate, which helps protesters post bail. Kamala said, quote, if you're able to, chip in now for the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota, she said on Twitter in June. In fact, here is her official post from her own Twitter account posted on June 1st that says, yeah, if you're able to, pitch in money to bail out the people that rioted in the BLM summer movements. So yeah, the question is, if the Democrats did this to former President Donald Trump for inciting a riot, could the Republicans do the same thing to Kamala Harris? However, because the Democrats control the House and the Senate, basically nothing will happen if they did it now, and that is why Republican Senator Lindsey Graham says that if the Republicans take over the House of Representatives in 2022, that then they could bring these charges, because if they do it now, well, the Democrats will just outvote them. As you can see here on this screen, the U.S. House of Representatives currently has 211 Republicans and 221 Democrats, so only 10 more Democrats. The Democrats actually lost, I believe it was 13 seats in this last election in the House of Representatives, and they actually gained 3 in the Senate. So if that happened again and Democrats lost another 13 seats in the House, then the Republicans would take over the U.S. House of Representatives and Kevin McCarthy would become the House Speaker, no longer Nancy Pelosi, and then they could do something like this, bringing up impeachment charges against Vice President Kamala Harris. Let me know your thoughts. Is this one of those sayings that my dad would say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander? Or do you think that they should just quit this political BS and let bygones be bygones and not worry about things that happened in the past? Or is it fair game for both sides? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says on the third stimulus check, at this painful time in our country, America's working families should know that Democrats have never paused in our work on their behalf. We are starting to change the tide against the virus and are making progress to get the COVID relief done and put money in people's pockets. This comes as the $1,400 stimulus checks portion of the third stimulus check bill, stimulus check package, has already passed on the subcommittee level, which is basically the level before it goes to the final vote in the U.S. House of Representatives. There's multiple different subcommittees that are each writing their own section of the bill, and those sections have to be written and then voted on and approved. The $1,400 third stimulus check has already been written, voted on, and approved on the subcommittee level. And this week, we will finish out the rest of that process where the subcommittees will all finish their work and put it together in the final bill and go to the House of Representatives for the final approval and then to the Senate. Basically, we're getting very close on the third stimulus check and the third stimulus check package, which will include $1,400 checks for adults, $1,400 checks for each child, which is more than double than they have been before, with the previous checks being $500 and $600 for children, and $1,400 stimulus checks for adult dependents and college students who didn't even get a first and second stimulus check the last time. So this will be a much bigger check for them. Also, people are still getting their second stimulus checks. Literally, I asked yesterday, and I said, are you guys still, or some of you guys still receiving your second stimulus check? And I had dozens and dozens of people saying, yes, I just got it today. I just got it yesterday. So I see a lot of you guys saying, how can you talk about the third one or even the fourth one? I haven't even got my second one. Well, don't worry. They're still actually coming out. This is because President Biden signed an executive order to reissue these after the January 15th deadline for the IRS to stop sending them out. President Biden changed that with a presidential executive order, which made it so that the IRS and the Treasury Department could restart sending out the second stimulus checks that haven't been sent out yet. So apparently, and if you read the comments, in fact, read the comments down below. If you have got your second stimulus check today or within the last few days, comment down below and like those comments so that our viewers can see them. You'll see that people are still getting their second stimulus checks right now. Mostly the people that are getting them right now that are delayed are the people that weren't on direct deposit or maybe were and changed their banks. Mostly there was some kind of difficulty, like they changed their banks, they changed their address, they were on a paper check, maybe they moved recently, maybe they're a non-filer, they don't file tax returns, and they may have had to go off the data of the first stimulus check. So I actually have a link down below in the description that you could watch next on reasons why you might not get the next stimulus check or they may be delayed, because there's multiple reasons, and this will help you with the third and subsequent stimulus checks after that, ways to not get your stimulus check delayed or make sure you do get it. If you don't end up getting your second stimulus check, even over the next week or so, then you will need to file a 2020 tax return, and you will then get it as a tax refund or a tax rebate as part of your 2020 taxes. So just for example, if you're going to get a $1,000 tax refund from your 2020 taxes, you'll get $1,600. They'll basically include your $600 second stimulus check in there. There's honestly going to probably be people that get their third stimulus check before their second stimulus check, or there's going to be people that get their third stimulus check while other people are still waiting for their second stimulus check. And really, it's just because the second stimulus check for some people have been delayed due to those reasons. Again, I'll put a link down below in the description that you can watch next if you want to see reasons why your check may be delayed and even your future checks may be delayed. It's good information to know so that you don't run into these problems. Senator Bernie Sanders, who is basically Joe Biden's right-hand man and also the leader of the Senate budget, he's the Senate budget chairman, says, "Thank you, U.S. progressives, for your leadership. The COVID bill in the House increases stimulus checks to $2,000 for the working class, $1,400 plus the $600 from the second stimulus check. It also raises the minimum wage to $15 an hour and cuts child poverty in half." Those are those $3,000 to $3,600 stimulus checks that are an increase of the child tax credit, but will actually be sent out in monthly payments of $250 to $300 per child per month, which will cut the U.S. poverty rate in half based on a recent study, and extends unemployment benefits at $400 per week. That will kick in mid-March. Even if they pass the bill before then, they're going to keep the unemployment rate at $300 per week until the mid-March deadline when that money runs out. Then the new bucket of money from the third stimulus check package will increase the unemployment bonus to $400 per week until the end of August, which then they will likely extend with another stimulus package to extend the unemployment benefits even further. The Senate must prepare to act quickly. In fact, we'll talk about that here in a second. Chuck Schumer is trying to pull I want to say pull a fast one, but it's not in like a negative way. But yeah, Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, is trying to pull a fast one. I also love reading these top comments here on these tweets because they're always a hoot. Peter says here, replying to Bernie Sanders, $2,000 a month stimulus. You proposed such a bill last May. And then the next comment says, gee, it's almost like the Democrats weren't in power in May or something, which obviously they weren't, but now they are. And that's why all these stimulus checks and packages and monthly payments to children and Social Security increases and student loan forgiveness, all these are actually very real possibilities because, well, Mitch McConnell's graveyard in the Senate no longer exists. And because Mitch McConnell can't just take bills that pass the House and just send them to die, like he did multiple times with the HEROES Act, 2 different times, and the Cash Act that was to increase your $2,000 stimulus checks. Remember that passed the House, went to the Senate, Mitch McConnell just didn't even vote on it? He calls that his graveyard, the Mitch McConnell graveyard. Well, unfortunately, that one bit him in the behind, and now the Republicans have lost the Senate, and now Democrats can pass bills with the reconciliation process all on their own because the Democrats now control the House and the Senate. And with these little bad boys here, they can pass stimulus checks, stimulus packages, and other types of bills with only 51 votes in the Senate, 50 Democrats, and the tiebreaker vote, Vice President Kamala Harris. So yeah, this is just the first stimulus package, and the Democrats, whether you're a Democrat or not, this is just the reality of it is. When Mitch McConnell was in charge, I mean, I was telling you what was happening. This is basically just what's happening. So this is just their agenda. The Democrats want to pass a lot of stimulus. They want to pass monthly stimulus checks to children right now. There's a possibility for monthly stimulus checks going out to adults later on. There's a very real possibility for student loan forgiveness. We just seen last week Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer literally standing out giving a speech saying that we want $50,000 in student loan forgiveness now, and we're not going to stop until the president does it through a presidential executive order. So when you have the Senate Majority Leader saying that and saying that the president can do it, and then the White House responding the next day saying they're looking into it if they can do it and they want to do it, like those are like really big deals. Also, on the $200 per month Social Security increase, that's a bill also proposed by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. And I recommend that you guys tweet Chuck Schumer, tweet Elizabeth Warren, tweet AOC, send them letters, send them messages, call them. Let's get that back on the hot burner so that we get a lot of awareness. We need awareness. Like we need Chuck Schumer out there talking personally about the $200 per month Social Security increases. We need people, hey, Chuck Schumer, hey, Elizabeth Warren, We need you to go through with this bill that increases benefits by $200 per month for all Social Security beneficiaries. This bill's from last year, 2020, but as we just seen in that tweet, the Democrats weren't in power last year, and Mitch McConnell would never let this pass, just like he didn't with the Cash Act for $2,000 stimulus checks. Well, guess what? Now we're going to get $2,000 stimulus checks anyways. They were just delayed because Mitch McConnell delayed them, and now we had to pass it through the third stimulus check package. So these type of things are very real proposals that can now pass because the Democrats are in power. But you just need to get a lot of support going for them. We need to get a lot of public press going on about them. We need to get a big push so that it's in the limelight and people are talking about it every day, and then we get it passed. This bill by Senator Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren has a lot of press going after it, that the next president can and should cancel up to $50,000 in student loan debt immediately. Democrats outlined plan for action in 2021, and that the president has existing executive authority to cancel student loan debt from Congress and do this simply through a presidential executive order. This one has a lot of publicity going on about it because AOC and Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren are literally talking about it every few days, and they're going out and they're making press conferences about it and speaking to the public about it. And if you guys want, honestly, this is probably going to happen this year. I don't know if it's going to be 50,000 because Joe Biden says he's in favor of at least 10,000. And you can see that right here on joebiden.com, the Biden Emergency Action Plan to Save the Economy. When you scroll down here and not donate to him, forgive a minimum of $10,000 per person on federal student loans, as proposed by Senator Elizabeth Warren and colleagues. Young people and other student debt holders bore the brunt of the last crisis, that this shouldn't happen again. So Joe Biden says literally right here on his economic plan that he is willing to forgive up to $10,000 per person in student loan forgiveness. He also says increase monthly Social Security checks by $200 per month, as proposed by Senator Wyden and colleagues. Seniors and people with disabilities are uniquely at risk right now. These two things, these happen by getting public support and public push for them. Right now, Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren and AOC are talking about this one, the student loan forgiveness, almost every couple of days. If you guys want them to start talking about this one, Social Security increase every couple of days, you got to reach out to them. I'm doing my part here by talking about it on YouTube. 100,000 plus people on average watch my videos every single day, and I do 4 a day. So we have about 400,000 people or 400,000 views every single day. So every time I talk about these things, it brings more awareness to them and it makes it more public. The more public support we get for these, the more likely they are to happen. This one is almost for sure going to happen. The question is how they're going to do it, how much they're going to do it for. They say they can do it up to $50,000, but Joe Biden says that he's willing to do $10,000 minimum. This one needs more support. So you guys need to tweet your senators, tweet your congressmen, email them, call them, leave messages at their office, post on Twitter, post on Facebook about it. I will do my part and continue to post about it on YouTube so that we bring more public support and get these done. Because remember, the Democrats can get this done now that they have Democratic control in both the House, the Senate, and the presidency. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future updates. Subscribe and then click the bell icon next to it to all notifications so you get notifications when we go live. New videos come out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., 8 p.m., and 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you updated, and share this video with your friends and family so that we can get the public support out there. Share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it wherever you can, and we'll get the message out. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is about the most frequently asked questions about why your stimulus check may be delayed or why your next stimulus check may be delayed. Watch that if you haven't yet. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.